My name's Mitchell Golden, and for my best practice, I decided to do Marzano's homework and practice. So basically, what is that? That is saying that the first kind of concept of it is that content must be taught before homework or practice is given. So we don't want to have an unexpected fire drill. We didn't get the content, but we still give out homework about that content, because then that just serves no purpose, especially for students with disabilities. But we will talk about that in a minute. Secondly is to deepen the student's understanding, and it's to extend learning opportunities beyond the confines of the school day. So we can give homework, and it will help the students continue to learn content without them even realizing, or maybe with them realizing it. They're just expanding their knowledge. So what is the difference between practice and homework? Well, Marzano thinks that there really is no difference except for one, and that is if a student is asked to read a chapter to have a basic understanding of content. That's not really practicing any skills. That's just more or less gaining a general overview of what's going to happen for the next class period. So the amount of homework a student receives depends on the grade level of the student. So students in early elementary, grades K through 3, Marzano believes that they should receive homework to practice their skills and not expand their knowledge on the content. But after that, Marzano believes that homework and practice is used for expanding content and knowledge of the skills. So over here, I have a little diagram, and it just shows the grade level and the percentile grading that we should see from giving this recommended amount of homework each night. So you all can read that. Marzano, like I said, Marzano does recommend a certain amount of homework. So he recommends the student's grade level times 10. So if a student is 7th grade, they receive 70 minutes of total homework each night. So that's not for each core class. That is for the total amount of homework for each night, counting all 4 classes. So the target audiences. So all ages can use this strategy and use it successfully. Excuse me. But for students with special education services, we'll use this strategy more successfully when the homework is appropriate and specifically designed, using specifically designed instruction, where it centers their focus on the assignment. So you want to use the specifically designed instruction when you're assigning the homework, and then you want to use SAS when you are trying to assure the students are understanding the homework. So this varies depending on the individual student. Obviously, we know that we cannot judge each student based on their disability, but rather on the individual person that they are. So for students with disabilities, the student first must be taught the content before homework can be assigned, because then no purpose is being served. A student with disabilities is more than likely not going to learn or try to take homework and just try to learn and figure it out on themselves. So they're going to need to be taught that content first. So these are just some examples that I have for modifications for students with disabilities. So for number 1, for students with autism, giving students homework that requires a more visual approach. We know that most students with autism are visual learners, so giving them pictures are a good way to help students retain that information and understand the content. Number 2, for a student with traumatic brain injury, writing their homework down in their planner and then signing it, and then setting up a contract with the guardian of the child to sign it before they come to school to ensure that they saw the work was due. Whether they do it or not, that is not up to the teacher. There's some things that are out of your control. But down here, you could also use this for hearing impairments, visual impairments, blindness, different things like that. Number 3, giving an individual with specific learning disabilities an article on their reading level. This is very important. Do not give a shorter article, because that doesn't mean that it's on their reading level. So you want to make sure that they can do the homework in the same amount of time as other students, and they're not struggling to read the content. So then this is just the procedures that Marzano talks about in using the homework and practice. So number 1, understand different types of homework and when to use them in your teaching. So obviously you do not want to assign the same homework assignment each night for the same class, because that's just going to serve no purpose. for your students. So you don't want to allow yourself to get repetitive. So change it up a little bit, make it interesting, make it fun for your students to learn. Number 2, assign the right type of homework in comparison to the lesson so that homework is more of a focused learning experience. So you don't want to assign a 6th grader a trigonometry assignment for homework or a pre-calculus assignment for homework because that's not on their level. So these two kind of tie in with each other a lot. The right type and the right level. As I just said, you don't want to give a student a 6th grader a pre-calculus assignment for math. And the right amount of homework, as we already talked about, grade level multiplied by 10 is a good start. So students with disabilities, make sure that you're working with their accommodations to get their homework, and they will be successful in that. Number 4, recognize that every student is different and learns differently. Embrace different practices and ways that students learn. So we know that there are let me back up. There are 5 different ways that students or people normally learn. So try to give homework assignments that work with all 5 of those and not just one particular one over and over and over again. So this kind of ties in with number 1, understanding different types of homework assignments. Number 5, provide clear homework expectations at the school level. Not each individual teacher needs their own set of expectations because that causes confusion for students and peers. So that's pretty self-explanatory. So down here in a minute, I'm going to show you guys a homework expectation sheet that I found, and hopefully that kind of clears it up for you. So number 7 is homework should have a clear purpose. Number 6, ask parents to facilitate homework, not complete it. Parents' involvement in homework at the middle school and high school level should be minimal. Obviously, we don't want homework or parents just completing the homework assignments for the students. We want them just kind of being there for assistance, but not answering the questions for them. And then this is a pretty important part right here. Keep in mind individual situations where doing homework is not possible to complete at home. So you don't want to give a student a 0 on an assignment because they could not complete the homework assignment. So you want to adjust to that and make accommodations so that student can complete the homework without getting a 0 on that assignment. Number 7, homework should have a clear purpose. So why is this homework assignment being given? Should not just be busy work. We all hate busy work. We all hate homework that doesn't really have a purpose. So making sure that it is serving a purpose for the student, even if they don't recognize that, they need to understand or they need to see that this is going to serve you in the long run. So number 8, homework should be given back in a timely fashion so students can see their work and correct it in next time. So we all have those professors or teachers or whoever it may have been that grave out a paper and then 5 weeks later we got the paper back. We don't want to be that teacher for our students. So we want to make sure that we're giving our homework assignments back in a timely fashion. We also want to make sure that homework is given back appropriately. And what I mean by that is we want to make sure that if a student just did not get the concept of the homework or just completely bombed the assignment, that we're giving them feedback. We're working with them individually, to help them achieve and understand the concept. So the next time or when they see that assignment on a formative assessment or on a test or whatever it may be on a project or in life, that they understand the concept. Number 9, this is kind of just this little add-in. Help students organize their homework, such as a planner. So we know that, especially at the college level, that homework can kind of get unbearing sometimes. So we want to make sure that we are helping our students organize their thoughts. Not number 9. This is just the resources I use throughout my throughout my research on Marzano's homework and best practice. So these are some great links. This blog right here that I found is a great resource to kind of understand just all about Marzano and his different strategies that he has. Because this is just not the only strategy he has. He has many different successful classroom management plans, ways to run your classroom, different things. So And then down here, this is the Rigdor's model that Marzano has provided. So I didn't really talk about this a lot, but this is kind of just an overview of what Marzano's center basically focuses on. So we support shift in pedagogy, unify school culture, and provides formative feedback. So you guys can take a look at that if you want. And then down here, as I promised, this is a homework expectation sheet. So this is on a school-wide basis, and we want to make sure that the directions are clearly understandable for our students. We don't want them to be confused, have any questions. Of course, they're going to have questions, but we want to try to limit as many questions as possible. So this is just a good sheet that we can use, and it's almost like a contract almost. They know what they're expected to do, and now it's in their balls in their court to complete the assignments. These are my formative questions. I'm going to post these on Blackboard, so I appreciate you guys listening to me, and thank you.